Everywhere, right? But outside or inside? Outside. And when you step outside, what are you automatically getting?
Fresh air.
The sun.
Fresh air. You're getting the sunlight. And if I'm standing here and I want to go pick something from the park, gotta walk. We call that exercise, and exercise is so important. I know when you started eating raw food, you thought, finally, this is the one thing I can start doing and I won't have to do anything else. But unfortunately, exercise is still healthy for us and we still need it. All those things and more. Did you know that weeds and wild edibles can help you be more relaxed? And I'm not talking about these kinds of weeds. There's so many studies out there that say if you kick off your shoes and step on grass, your heart rate and your cholesterol go down. If you look at a beautiful landscape, whether it's an ocean or anything, a mountain, your heart rate and cholesterol go down. Why does that happen? Why is it that when you look at anything from the city or man-made, the reverse is true? So plants actually help us to relax, even without eating them. Now, obviously, there's some plants that you shouldn't eat. We'll talk about that in a second. But when you're learning how to differentiate them between the plants that are okay to eat, you're actually working on your memory, building the brain up a little bit. And so all these things are once again free to us. Isn't that exciting? Now you know all the benefits, right? You're ready to go out there and eat. Maybe you've already known a lot of these, but for some reason haven't been eating weeds. Why not?
Well, unless you know the area, you gotta worry about what's on. Like, if you go across here, if they put pesticides or anything else on it.
It's a very good concern.
I'm afraid one will be poisonous.
Poisonous, right? Because from a very early age, it was instilled in us that if we don't eat anything, it's poisonous, right? We're walking in the park when we're 3 years old. Our parents took us, and we're these little people who haven't accepted all the titles of things yet. So when we look at a tree, it's not just a tree. It's got like an ant city on it. It's just this magnificently large thing. We're still exploring it. We touch it. We smell it. We look down and there's like this tiny little green growing. And we pick it up and we touch it and smell it and we look at it. We were given 5 senses with which to explore life, so naturally as kids, after we've touched it and smelled it, maybe listened to it, we are about to put it in our mouth. And then what happens?
No.
Mom or dad runs up, and if you're lucky, she doesn't slap you on the back of the head. And she says what?
Don't eat it.
Don't eat it. Why not? Because it's poisonous. Have you ever heard that? Don't eat it because it's poisonous. How does your mom know that it's poisonous? Did she do her research? Don't question what mom says. Mom knows best, right? I do agree that it's better to be safe than sorry, and we shouldn't just go out there and eat everything in our way. But there are relatively few poisonous plants out there. Same guy that was talking about Native American ethnobotany, he categorizes every plant in the United States, and there's 31,000 plus different plants, not including mushrooms or lichens. So just like plants, there's over 31,000. Out of those plants, only 150 are categorized as poisonous. Now there are, some that are categorized as medicinal, but 150 of those shouldn't be eaten because they're considered to be negative towards humans. That's according to the government, the Poison Control Center. Furthermore, only 50 of those 150 have the power to really harm you. Now maybe I'm just like an internal optimist or something, but when I found out there's only 50 plants that have the power to kill me, I got really excited. I was like, whoa, I can handle this. I thought with Google out, it's so easy to just figure out what those 50 plants are. So I went online and I Googled most poisonous plants in the US, and I got a nice little list for free with pictures. And I thought, well, what's the easiest way for me to learn this? I need to put it in a place where I'll constantly look at it. So I put it right across from the toilet in the bathroom. And every time I sit down to take a poop, I just learn one new plant. One a day for 50 days, you know that everything else that you eat won't kill you. I think it's worth it. And while you're Googling, you might as well Google the most edible plants of your area, like most edible plants of Connecticut, and you get a nice free list with photos that you put in a different place that you look at every day, like on top of the fridge. And every time you open the fridge, you're going, oh, dandelion. It's got the the very pointy little teeth-like things on it. That's why it's called dent de lion in French, tooth of a lion. I see. Start memorizing this stuff. It actually doesn't take that long. You just gotta just do it a little bit every day. One of my wild edible teachers says that in order to get really good and learn a plant, all you have to do is really observe it and just pay attention to it. Something that we're naturally into doing, we just forgot after a few generations, because now everywhere you look, there's something blinking or there's another billboard, and we kind of have to shut off a little bit. But if you actually just relax, start looking at a plant, memorize some of its characteristics, you'll remember it for the rest of your life, because every plant, just like every one of you, is unique. Right? And hopefully today, with my little wild edible presentation, we'll be able to look at some of the most edible ones and how to actually talk about how distinct they are and how to recognize them from things that you shouldn't eat.